Hello, Professor. This is our group portfolio presentation on job description. Our group members are myself, Christine Lamog, Riza Beltran, Brian Makwan, and Pachi. To start with, our presentation will be focusing on looking into hiring a nurse leader and centers on his job descriptions and responsibilities. To start with, what is a nurse leader? According to Morganelli in 2021, nurse leaders are those who are able to inspire, influence, and motivate healthcare professionals as they work to achieve shared goals. Regis College also stated that nurse leaders are highly educated nurses trained to serve patients across many healthcare settings. They primarily focus on coordinating patient care, measuring outcomes, overseeing patients' transition, assessing risks, implementing policies, and building communication. The primary role of a nurse leader is to serve as a role model to healthcare and team members. They are able to effectively communicate the goals and expectations of each team member in the health team. So why are nurse leaders needed? Nurse leaders are one of the most crucial elements in the healthcare system. According to Arkansas State University, a leader can influence others through effective communication and insight, and they also have a vision for the future. Nurse leaders are important since they ensure that the treatment and management plan is going as it should be, while maintaining a safe environment for the patients. When looking into hiring nurse leaders, it is crucial to conduct the recruitment process carefully and thoroughly. The individual must possess a set of skills and abilities to be able to take on the difficult task of being both a leader and a nurse. Moreover, a recruiter must approach the hiring process ethically and professionally. It is important to remember for our recruiter to be vigilant when hiring since various issues can arise in the process, such as unethical hiring, lack of information on the job descriptions, setting standards too high or too low, and even negligence. Being a nurse leader is very crucial in the healthcare system. Therefore, one must be stern when hiring someone into acquiring the job. It is also vital for recruiters to look into the background and experiences of the applicants, and this is to avoid issues of not negligent hiring, which occur when the applicant's references are not thoroughly checked prior to recruitment. Furthermore, it is important for the recruiters to approach the hiring process ethically when looking into hiring individuals. Evaluation must be done without discrimination, and the race gender culture should not hinder anyone from acquiring the job.
Hi everyone, my name is Riza and my topic for today is job description. The employees must have a branding of job description and its responsibilities and duties in order to maintain a high standard in a workplace such as these descriptions for nursing leadership position. First, have at least 3 years of working experience as a registered nurse. According to Sherman 2018, the greatest learning for an individual occurs during the practical experiences. Furthermore, in order to be a nurse leader, it is vital to first have an experience as a good grounding. It is important for an individual to be already familiar with the duties and responsibilities of being a nurse leader. Number two, cultivating an environment that advocates for cultural safety. As we know, Canada is a multicultural country. Hence, it is pivotal for nurses to be culturally competent to ensure a safe environment for all individuals with different backgrounds. Cultural competence does indeed lead to cultural safety in the healthcare system. According to the Canadian Nurses Association, nurses are ideally positioned to play a leadership role in fostering interdisciplinary collaboration, advocacy, political involvement, and community partnership. Having that said, nurses in Canada are thoroughly trained to be culturally competent in order to maintain or attain a culturally safe environment for all the individuals. Number three, critical thinking and communication skills. Even as a student, Nurses are trained to cultivate their thinking skills in order to be able to make the best clinical decisions, especially for the patients. Carson Newman Christian University stated that critical thinking skills in nursing improve patient outcomes by enabling evidence-based decision making in terms of communication skills, and it is also essential to a client's well-being as it decreases the risk of medical errors among healthcare workers. Number four, ensures a stable management in patient care and treatment. Nurse leaders must be able to monitor the workplace and make certain that healthcare services are being set at a standard. It is important for the nurse leader to be able to direct nursing staff to oversee the organizational structure of healthcare processes, and most importantly, deep nursing teams in providing patient care and medical services. Number five, to be able to establish patient-centered care environment. As a healthcare workers, the priority will always be the patient and their welfare. According to the American Hospice and Palliative Care, patient-centered care also looks at what the patient's emotional, psychological, and spiritual needs. A study by Chapman 2020 confirmed that patient-centered care is a goal that we must all work towards one another. A study by CPD Online College, it stated that patient-centered care helps to minimize the risk of negative, unfair, or harmful treatment and neglect the recipients of health and social care services. Patient-centered care not only takes into account they also need visual, physical, and mental needs, but also their environment, lifestyle, values, and beliefs.
Hello everyone, my name is Prachi and I'm going to explain about the interviewer question has been asked by the interviewer to the applicant to know about the knowledge and to assess the whether he or she can be fit to the position according to description of the position of as a nursing leader. So they have to go through a series of interview questions. The question number one is, can you tell me about yourself? So like in any interview, this is the basic but the most important question will be asked at the first as the beginning as icebreaker, because the interviewer wanna know what he is expecting from the person as a position for the nursing leader. Question number two, do you work well with other people? So nursing is typically a very hard and challenging field in which they have to work with other healthcare professional in caring, treating the patient and counseling the patient. So the goal of asking this question is to determine the candidate working style and how they can work with the other people in a certain situation and in a certain environment. Next slide, please. Question three. What are your greatest strengths and weaknesses? So the question this has been asked by the interviewer is to know about what type of strength the person is having and how he can work in certain situation, and what type of position or role he can be given in the future after the job, and by knowing the weaknesses, they can able to work on their weaknesses and help he or she to overcome their weaknesses. Number four, how do you cope up with stressful situation? So in a nursing field, the person have to deal with a very stressful situation each time, and the person as a leader have to deal and have to coordinate to the staff member and cope up with the stressful situation and to solve the problem effectively. Next slide, please. Number five, what type of workplace do you thrive in? So if the person have by asking this question, uh, interview able to know that what type of work environment he or she would prefer, and how he can work in a group, or what type of work environment he can create, and what type of situation he or she could be. So if the working environment is a fast paced so he or she would be able to work in this fast-paced environment effectively. Number 6, what can you bring to the team as a nurse leader? So if the person is working as a leader, he have to develop a positive environment, uh, create a proper communication skill, and motivate the team member. So interview want to know what type of nurse leader he or she would be become after the hiring process. So and what uh, motivational goal he or she can be brought to a team, and how he can work as a team to achieve the goal, to achieve the common goal. Now next slide will be present with now next slide. Now I'm going to hand over the further part of my presentation to one of my group member, Brian.
So, a quick introduction about me. My name is Brian Makwan, and I'm taking over this from Prachi. That I will gonna explain you the same interview question, which is next question 7. So, what skills make you the most qualified nurse? So, as a nurse leader, we have to just select that if he or she can make a good decision. He is having a good decision making power. Like if there will be any kind of conflict in the organization, then it will be the tough for a nurse to situation how to handle this kind of scenario. Then it's gonna be problematic for them. So it is a skill which needs to be there, a good communication skill. This is must preference for the nurse to look forward for this, because as a leader she can go with this if she's having a good communication skills. Along with that, sometimes she has to work as a good critical thinking, because while she's working on floor, she's having a lot of situations come up together, and sometimes she has to answer like a priority. Like as a nurse, she has to think what's the priority, what's the main goal in it, and then after she has to take a decision. So critical thinking must be there in every nurse leader to find the situation, to resolve this issue, and he can able to share the knowledge. She don't have like this kind of attitude or something like I don't want to say to my colleagues, so I don't want to share this information to my team members. It's like a transparent like water. Nurse leader must be transparent like water, so it will be easier. These are the qualities as a employer usually watch in the nurses while they are hiring as a leader. And of course, question 8, I would like to go like it's a very usual question, but it's do you have any questions for me? Like it's always asked by the interview at the end. So at this time, we don't have to say like no, I end up with yes, I have any question. No, I don't have any question. It's good to go to ask some questions like what's the I'm I'm usually active to know about the good environment of this organization, how the team is working. I like to know that how you are having policies and what are your terms and condition to do this, and what is about your team strength, what are the team weakness, so I can improve by myself. I can work on the situations, and along with that, as a nurse leader, you just have to question for this, or you just have to answer like how many opportunities are there, like is there any opportunities for future as I can go with it, or I will get any kind of promotional activity, or I can do by myself. So it will be also a good thing to answer in the question. For the next slide, I just want to conclude that being a nurse leader, like it's not an easy task to do, because it's comes with a lot of accountability and a lot of responsibility, and it's create like a individual preference. So she must be aware, as a nurse leader, it's like establishing a job description, and by the recruiting this for the employer, it's a difficult part, as it feels like conducting an interview will be the further helps an employer that fits the job. The recruitment process continues to be a crucial procedure, and maintaining an organization. So it will be also difficult task for the nurse leader to function their task in the field. And this all are the references which we had used to collect this data from. So again, there is one more slide which I will show you. Mhm. So these are all the references which me and my team used to do for research and collected the data from how the employers is watching and what they're questioning and how to resolve this and how to answer this question. So it will be easier task as it looks a good job description for a nurse leader. Along with that, I would like to end up this and say thank you along with my team. We had done a good learning in this while we are working as a good team members, because as we match up, we are also having this kind of situation and we learn a lot.